I do just want to ask this, but we all do these topics, right? Who's going to win the championship first in the city? Rank the owners. You know, we all do these reset topics when we have playoff runs like this.
Mm-hmm.
And I've asked over the past month if Jason Kidd deserves apologies from us. You still say no. Chuck Cooperstein basically thinks yes, voice of the Mavericks. My question is, what about Cuban apologies? Do we all owe Mark Cuban an apology? Which one would you think is owed one more between Cuban or Kidd?
I'm coming around on the, like, I've gotten to a point where, yeah, probably Kidd deserves some sort of apology. Look, Kidd is the exact type of modern era NBA coach that has become the standard of, you are managing personalities, you're not drawing up X's and O's. Like, that's your biggest thing that you need to do.
Look at the video of after Kyrie gives the post-game speech and he's got his daughter in there. Just look at the video or picture of Kidd's arm around Kyrie. That right there is the encapsulation of Jason Kidd's effect, importance, and value of the Mavericks locker room. We've had so many people come on the show, including Tim McMahon recently. Say Kyrie grew up a Kidd fan. A Kidd has Kyrie's respect. And it was like a father-son.
There it is.
Ryan, you're good. Ryan, you're
just on a loop he's got.
Did Ryan mail it in like PayPay while I was out?
I mean, there was one day he was out. We had Carter on the video one morning.
We gave Carter a whole segment.
But that was because Ryan was graduating. He was having his successes.
You let Carter talk on the air?
Oh,
like gave him a segment? Is this KNC or what?
Yeah,
we gonna get Joey Erickson on next?
That was Choppy's idea. He literally had Carter on for 15 minutes to break down the Kendrick Lamar Drake beef.
Was he okay?
I'll play it for you later today. You can tell me.
Okay. Should I read what you said about Ryan graduating last night?
No.
What did you say?
No. I had to think about it. Wait, what did I say?
I'll pull up the text. Well, I'll see how you do the rest of it.
I mean, I said it.
It was a joke, Ryan.
I'll tell Ryan.
He was having fun. Wasn't that who you were referring to? You're like, even Ryan graduated from there?
Yeah, but it.
That was the joke. That's right.
That was funny. Ryan, congratulations on graduating. I don't remember what I was talking about.
We were talking about Jason Kidd and the way that he
with Kyrie.
Look, so Kidd deserves somewhat of a
Ryan's good. Ryan's kind of looking up here like what was said.
He's ready to go.
Yeah.
Here's the thing: is that Kidd, I think, has been a detriment to you at times. There are going to be moments where it's like it's absolutely the perfect fit. He's the perfect fit right now. It's exactly what they need. It's been a big boost. There have been too many times where he's been too resistant to play young players or give certain opportunities where it's just maddening, where he doesn't seem to have trust. So that's the frustrating thing for me. There are moments where you're really going to love having Jason Kidd as your head coach, and there are moments where you're going to hate it. So I think if anything, Nico more than Cuban deserves an apology because we're just all blowing it off as like.
Well, who's president of basketball operations, Bob?
But we're all blowing it off.
That's why we kicked Donnie Nelson to the curb.
We were all blowing it off as like Nico, the old shoe salesman. Choppy sits here and always calls him Al Bundy. Like says Al Bundy, the GM or whatever it is. Nico, I mean, really believed and pushed for the move for Kyrie. And that was one that
was desperation.
It was.
Like they had to give Luka someone.
They had to do something.
I give Nico more credit for the Gafford PJ deal. I like, to me, that is his stroke of genius.
He strikes.
That is his top line on the resume right now.
We're going to, and I mean, maybe we'll get more answers about this as time goes on and we get a sense of it, but he really does just seem to be less of basketball guy and more just power broker. Like guy who knows how to negotiate, leverage relationships, do things like that. So it's like once they've come to and I don't know who drives the other part of that. Is it Kidd driving basketball decisions? But it feels like once a basketball decision has been made, Nico is a big part of just executing it and making it happen. Less than maybe drawing up the idea or, hey, we got to do this or that. I don't know. I could have that completely wrong. That's just the sense I get from hearing them talk about how their whole team operates and how their whole front office structure operates. But, I mean, there's in general, I think we owe an apology to the Mavericks in general for the way we talked about how good they could be once they made the PJ Washington and Gafford trades, where we're sitting there at Super Bowl, and I mean, there was a lot of discussion about like, yeah, okay, the trade's fine, but
let's not bring back some of that audio.
Oh, I want to bring Choppy's quote back for sure, where Choppy's like, "They're still not getting out of the first round." Like, I mean, it's nothing, no benefit at all.
Well, I didn't feel like they could make it here like this either. But I do want to have an honest conversation about Cuban because he gets destroyed and he gets hated on for sports and politics and all that stuff. But the interfering kind of wannabe basketball personality input, do we owe him one? What do y'all think? 877-881-1053, Franklin Frankel injury attorney text line. Like, at what point do you have to sit back and be like, all right, did Cuban greenlight these moves? Did he have more of just a sign-off input with them? Was he looking at, because when this deal was done with the Vegas people, it was like, well, Mark Cuban going to stay on, basketball operations, and you're rolling your eyes. Okay, here we go, Jerry Jones 2.0 all over again. I just think it's a fair question to bring up.
No, it is. It's really difficult to I think assess what it is that Cuban's contribution is at times.
Yeah.
Like back in the day, it was always really obvious what he did. 20 years ago, you knew what Mark Cuban was doing. Mark Cuban was spending the money necessary, creating an atmosphere that, players wanted to be here.
Fun.
And like creating a fun atmosphere for fans, for potential free agents. A guy who would oftentimes like take the bullets for controversial issues and things like that, would stand up there and like, I'll be the target for it and we'll knock this out, and was willing to spend the money to make it all happen. So that was Cuban's reputation early on.
Yep.
Now, I don't know. It's felt like, obviously, he's talked about it before. After they won their first title, he definitely kind of stepped back. He started avoiding the luxury tax as an owner. There were times where felt like he was delegating power incorrectly. So, yeah. I mean, I don't know.
My answer is no.
I don't think he does.
I got to give an answer. My answer is no, just because of the lack of Luka help. I can't just have you go on one run and be like, you are Jerry West.
Mm-hmm.
You are the logo in the front office. No, I got to look at the whole picture and the entire summary of Luka's lack of help here. Now, I give them a ton of credit. Again, the biggest praise for Nico Harrison is the Gafford and PJ deals, and I'm actually a bigger fan of the Gafford acquisition than PJ, even though PJ just had this fantastic series and the clinching ending to it. But I just wanted to ask and see if people wanted to change their minds over Cuban.
Got a lot of no's on the fan text. 214 no, because it's been years of crap with Cuban, especially with Dirk. 817 and 214 both say the new Mavs owner should get credit. The success started when they took over. And then 682 says, what about Vegas Bob?
No, we're not giving Vegas Bob any credit for anything. Scoring champs versus the number one defense since the NBA merger in 76-77. In the playoffs, this will be just the sixth time the scoring champ is going against the number one defense, Luka against the Wolves. Because previously it's been James Harden against the Jazz, Tracy McGrady against the Pistons, and then 3 different times Michael Jordan against the Knicks, Michael Jordan against the Pistons, and then again against the Pistons.
Some diehard Mavs fans are resetting and bringing back up the final MVP tallies. Do you think after the number one seed Thunder got taken out, we need to... Can we laugh at that now? Can we say, ha, told you so,
no,
with SGA over Luka 2 and 3?
No, because, I mean, I think that the MVP, it still should have been Luka above SGA. But if you're talking about what we saw in the postseason being any sort of a, proof of what the vote ended up being, no. I think SGA was more important to what the Thunder were doing in this series than Luka. Luka was... Yeah. They lose game 4 in large part because of Luka, and the Thunder won it because of SGA. There was a lot of articles being written after game 4 when that series got tied up 2-2. Rick Bucher had an article that was like, this is validation for what the NBA MVP vote ended up being. Like, you saw SGA step up and find something late that Luka couldn't. And there was a lot of that talk, not just from Bucher, but I mean, that was a national discussion there where it's like, this is why SGA was ahead of him. You see it on display. So I still think Luka should have been second. I think there's a case to be made that he should have been first. But, I think that when you look at pointing to this playoff series as evidence for it, I still think it's a stronger case for SGA showed why.
I agree. And I like the kid.
I do too.
Dang, I like the kid. easy to root for.
Tired of the group interview thing, though, that they do. That's starting to wear on me.